is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are St. Louis.
2 outs. Stanton. Ground ball hit up the middle. This should do it. In 2006, he closed out the World Series. And a night we celebrate, he finishes this ball game against the Marlins. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A live look at Union Station. And baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. That highlight of Adam Wainwright was on Saturday. He'll get the call this evening. We're in downtown St. Louis. It's game number 4 between the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. Jim Hayes is here. That's Al Verbosky, the Mad Hungarian. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Delighted to have you with us. We're just moments away from our first pitch, and it is Adam Wainwright getting the call tonight.
Outstanding the last time out, but he's been pitching like that for quite a while now. The team is 12-3 in his last 15 starts. So Adam Wainwright, the ace, is back. And of course, we're getting some offensive support from him. Hopefully Jerko can continue his home run ways.
He has been incredible in this series, the former Padre, so much so that Mike Matheny moves him up to the leadoff spot. Seeing old friends, the Padres sick of seeing this man, Jed Jerko. The Cardinals, the Padres, Game 4 coming up. Padre Jed Jerko. Who else? The former Padre Jed Jerko against San Diego, 13 for 21 with 6 home runs, 6 and 10 RBIs. Jerko bats leadoff tonight against the San Diego Padres. Here's Jed Jerko. He's had a big night. Adds to it. This ball is gone. Speaking of home runs, goodbye. Jerko again against his former team. Jerko out to deep left field. Did he do it again? You bet he did. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Jerko again. Left center. Oh, my. Way out of here. You can't get this guy out. Unbelievable. Ball is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. by Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. That's a look at the Ford Plaza just outside the center field wall here at Busch Stadium on a hot, steamy night in the Gateway City. And the Cardinals looking for a sweep. Jim Hayes, Al Raboski. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and it's 97 degrees. There's a live look at the hottest hitter right now in the series, maybe in baseball, Jed Jerko. He'll bat leadoff and play third base again tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals. Andy Green in his first season as the manager of the Padres. Travis Jankowski will lead it off. Very good speed. Then Will Myers, Matt Kemp, Solarte, switch hitting third baseman. Melvin Upton Jr. He's in left field tonight. Ryan Schimpf, couple of home runs in this series. Derek Norris, Alexi Ramirez, and the pitcher batting ninth. We weren't sure if he would start, but he is, and that's Andrew Kashner. Adam Wainwright. This will be start number 20 on the year. His record is at 9-5. His last 3 starts, think about this, 1 run. That's all he's allowed in 23 innings, and he'll get the call from Mike Matheny's club.
And really dealing as good, if not better, than he was in the past when he was a Cy Young candidate virtually every year. But he's 11th in the National League with a .254 home ERA, winning consistently at home. Second half he owns with a 51-28 mark with an ERA just over 3.01 post All-Star break. You see him right there telling his third baseman Jerko that be aware for the bunt.
There's a look at your BJC Healthcare difference maker. Last 11 games, it's been a different pitcher that we've seen from the very beginning of this season. He had a very interesting interview with Jim Hayes a couple of weeks ago and said that the Achilles was not fully healed, at least in terms of the strength. It wasn't all the way back. So that may have led to some of the issues early on this season. Travis Jankowski, left-handed batter, who's hitting .244. It's a hot night. Wainwright threw the most pitches he had thrown in 3 years on Saturday. We'll see how deep he can go in this game. Near triple digits. That's the actual temperature. Heat index, we understand, down on the field is around 105, 110. That's pulled foul.
Jankowski has never faced Adam Wainwright. What a treat he gets. But Adam, you know, he's just one of those guys. He's a tremendous athlete. He knows how to take care of his body, prepare for these starts. He'd throw 120 pitches that last time out, but I don't think that's going to phase him that much.
Here's a 2-2. He struck him out, and that's how we start the game. Called third strike on Travis Jankowski. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs. Holiday in left, Grichuk in center. Tommy Pham is in right. Jed Jerko, Aledmus Diaz on the left side. Garcia and Adams on the right side, and Molina is behind the plate. Well, it's not only been what he's done at the plate, but also has played a very good defensive third base for the Cardinals. That's Jed Jerko. And a strike to Will Myers. Myers, by the way, over his last 25 against right-handed pitching.
Well, he's had a test here. He's 2 for 2 off of Adam. And one of those was a home run. But you would think that probably earlier in the year.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Will Myers. Against San Diego, Adam Wainwright has lost the only game the Cardinals have lost in the season series against the Padres. Overall, though, 6-3, ERA under 2 and 9 career starts. Curveball is popped up. Molina giving chase, and he's got to play. Makes the catch. 2 down. And
you can kind of see everybody's got a little extra step You know, everybody's peppy right now as they've won the first 3 games of this series. They know they have to turn around their home record. They're playing the excellent baseball that they normally play at home and then continue their 10 games over 500 run on the road. They're right back in this pennant race.
Here's Matt Kemp, who is homered in 4 consecutive games. Only 2 Padres have homered in 5 straight. That's in the history of their franchise. Greg Nettles had 6 consecutive games back in 1984. That was a World Series year for the Padres. They eventually lost to Detroit. Adrian Gonzalez 5 straight back in 2009, and we'll see Adrian tomorrow with the Dodgers. That's lined into right center field, and it drops in for a base hit. A look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Adam Wainwright. The fastball, cutter, a lot of curveballs, and he'll mix in a changeup.
And I think we've seen recently, though, he's kind of changing things around a little bit. He'll throw 2 pitches. One I call a cutter, and another one's going to be like a slider, a little more depth to it, a little bigger break. The cutter, which doesn't really move as much, and that one to Kemp didn't move, is more like a BP fastball if it doesn't move.
Got to look for that late movement and a little downward action too. It stays on the same plane, that ball gets hit.
Yeah. But remember, early in the season, here we're hitting 330. Teams were hitting 330 off of Adam. There you see the backdoor breaking ball.
Was short lead at first by Kemp, and here's the 0-1 inside to Solarte. Solid year, 288 the average, 9 home runs, and he's driven in 38. .615 starts, and this always becomes a tough sun field for the right fielder.
So far it's tough for Solarte. He can't see at home plate. He got something in his eye.
One ball and 1 strike. Runner at first is Matt Kemp. Curveball, and it's pulled foul. I really felt that Saturday was one of the best moments we've had this year. Regardless of what happens this season, the Cardinals will look back at the reunion of the '06 championship team and what Wainwright did and Molina behind the plate as a very, very special night.
There's no doubt about that. You know, it was neat to see the 2006 world champions here, but then to see their closer and catcher still performing. And then Adam comes out and throws a 3-hit shutout. That made it all the more special. And I commend you for sending your private jet around the country to try and pick up all those guys so they can bring them back here tonight.
It's the least I could do.
Yeah, I know. That kind of person.
Thank you, Al. By the way, happy birthday to you.
All right, enough of that.
Happy birthday to Al. Popped up. Al just loves his own birthday. Foul territory, and there's Adams. In all sincerity, happy birthday, Matt Hungarian.
Thank you.
Now enough of that.
Enough of that is right.
Bottom of the first, no score. Right-hander finishing up his warm-up tosses here for the San Diego Padres. Well, the Cardinals know he's riding the hot hand at the moment. Nice round of applause for this man, Jed Jerko. He is batting leadoff here tonight. Average at .265 with 11 home runs, and 6 of the homers of those 11 have come against his former team. Then Diaz, Holiday, Adams, Molina, Grichuk, Pham, Garcia, and Wainwright. So this is what he's done against the San Diego Padres. 13 for 21, 6 home runs. He's driven in 10. Think about this. 57 other games. So anybody else outside of San Diego, he's hitting .215, 5 home runs, and 17 RBIs. As you get a look at the numbers for Andrew Cashner.
And the first time that Jerko's really had some success at home.
First pitch popped up. And out of play. Strike one.
Just never know how you're going to hit against your former team. Some guys get mentally motivated for it. There's no real rhyme or reason for it. You may know some of the pitchers a little bit better, but
we've seen him swinging early in counts, and he had been getting a lot of fastballs.
yeah, that's the one thing that, you know, the Padres sit there and, you know, they're going, we saw the last couple of years that he could only hit a fastball, and there we are throwing him fastballs. You know, he was ideally, you want to get him to a count to where you can throw the breaking balls and let him expand his zone and get himself out. But they're throwing the fastballs, and he's capitalized on them.
1-2 pitch, fouled back. So Jed Jerko with Hornsby and Bottomley, amazing here. Home runs in 5 straight games against a single opponent.
Just fits right in there with
Bottomley
and
Hornsby,
right?
Bottomley, Jerko.
Jerko.
Of course.
Now Cashner has struggled on the road. Remember, he was traded from the Cubs to San Diego for Anthony Rizzo.
But Jed Hoyer really wanted to get Rizzo. He had him in Boston. Then he was part of the deal that brought Adrian Gonzalez to the Red Sox. He went to the Padres. Then the Padres made the deal to get Cashner, who at the time was working out of the bullpen for Chicago.
Yeah, had the reputation of being you know, could throw 100 miles an hour, but this trade may go down, not quite like Brock Brolio, but that's, to me, is there used to be a period of time that you never would trade a position player for a pitcher.
An everyday player.
An everyday player, exactly.
Strikeout of Jerko.
Now he's gone away from his 2-seam fastball, throwing more 4-seamers, and last time out was his best start of the year, and had a season high 9 strikeouts, and you can see that was a 4-seamer there.
The defense behind Cashner: Upton, Jankowski, and Kemp in the outfield. Solarte, Ramirez, Schimpf, and Myers along the infield. Derek Norris is behind the plate. Aledmys Diaz with a 23-game on-base streak, hitting .360 during these 23 games, and 13 for 19 against the Padres.
I was going to say, you think, you know, Jerko was .619 off his former team. That wasn't even the top batting average against them this year. Diaz is .684.
Well, Matt Kemp went out to take right field, realized he's in the middle of a sun field, and went over to Jankowski, the center fielder there, pictured on the left, and said, "Give me those glasses." Here's a 1-1. Good fastball at 93.
Pulled rank on the rookie, huh?
Absolutely. Buyer beware a little bit with Andrew Cashner because of what he's done on the road. 6 starts, 0-4. ERA is close to 8. And he strikes out Diaz. Back-to-back Ks to start his night.
Slider there. Cashner has had some success against the Cardinals.
The Hyundai pitch arsenal. Fastball, a good one, as we talked about. Just saw a pretty impressive slider there to Diaz. The curve and change. Here's Holiday, homered in game 1 of the doubleheader, did not play in game 2. And he hits a fly ball into right. Kemp with the shades on, under it. And a 1-2-3 first inning for Andrew Cashner. We head to the second at steamy Busch Stadium in St. Louis. No score, Padres and Cardinals. Second, and there's no score. Our Lowe's home field advantage. Adam Wainwright this year at home 5-2, much better ERA. That's over 6 on the road. That's your Lowe's home field advantage. Just something about it, you know, you're used to the mound, used to the surroundings, a little bit of a routine of being at home. Players get a little better rest. Just nicer being at home. But for whatever reason, Cardinals' record on the road has been better this year, but that may change here in the second half.
Well, we just hope it doesn't change on the road, and just that it does dramatically improve at home. I think that's the biggest surprise to everybody associated with the club, is they're not winning at home.
0-2 the count on Melvin Upton Jr. Been quiet in this series, but a bounce back year for him. .263. 16 home runs, driven in 44. He's 2 for 7 coming into play in this series. Outfield is straight away. Wainwright struck him out. No argument from Upton. Second strikeout for Adam.
I remember earlier in the season when Adam really couldn't execute pitches. Now you're seeing that he can do it on a consistent basis, and I think what Adam explained to Jim Hayes made perfect sense.
Well, Tommy Pham is in right. Those glasses are probably better served on his nose than the bill of his cap. But in Seattle, he made a catch in which he took off his cap and shaded it from the sun by just using the right hand to use the cap, whipped it off his head, and then make the catch. You just never know.
He said in Memphis earlier in the year he had a ball come down and hit him like that, so that's why he used the hat to shield from the sun. And as long as he makes a play, he can do it any way he wants, but make the play.
Make the play.
But if you miss it and you lose a ball in the sun and your glasses are on your head, you got some explaining to do.
Good breaking ball to even it up at 2-2. Ryan Schimpf at the plate, a 28-year-old rookie who's basically replaced Jed Jerko in his spot in the lineup from a year ago in the Padres everyday lineup. 7 home runs in his first 75 at bats in the big leagues, and he strikes out. 3 tonight, 2 in the inning. Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks.
Talking about a good cutter or slider. I think there's where you get to see the depth. And what I'm saying is a slider where when he was throwing the cutter, it really didn't, it flattened out, didn't have as much movement. I think everybody, it seemed like, Walker's made that adjustment too, getting a little more depth and movement.
Here's Derek Norris batting 209. Molina sets up outside, and Wainwright hits his spot but does not get the call. It seems like to me Adam Wainwright is a little bit more free and easy in finishing off his pitches, maybe trusting that landing foot, that plant foot. But this is more of the Adam Wainwright that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and it goes right along with what we're talking about with the Achilles. When he came back last September, everybody thought that everything was perfect, but he was only throwing 1 inning. And when he started getting out there and getting taxed, as a starter going out there, he couldn't finish off his pitches, and that's where you get that late life and you get the movement. So, everything was flat, everything was in the middle of the plate. He wasn't really making good location, and now he is. He's pitching.
And he strikes out the side here in the 2nd inning. Norris, no chance, carved him up. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings for Adam Wainwright, and there's no score. Cardinals, no score, bottom of the 2nd. We check in with Jim Hayes.
Dan, Jed Jerko has done a little bit of everything against his former team, the San Diego Padres, much to their chagrin. He's adding something tonight. Jed is batting leadoff. Just the 2nd time in his career that he's hitting the leadoff spot. He did it once earlier this season against Pittsburgh. Not the prototypical leadoff guy, but Mike Matheny told me we've enjoyed watching him hit in this series, and we want him up there as frequently as we can. Then Mike told me, quote, the more we've seen Jed play, the more he's impressed us. Defense, running the bases, he's just a good player.
Is he enjoying, though, all the attention that he's received here the last 3 to 4 days?
He's a free spirit. He loves attention. However, he's been asked about 1,000 times, why do you have so much success against your old team, the Padres? He has a lot of friends over there, so he's getting tired of those questions and basically saying things like, I'm just seeing the ball well. I'm getting good pitches to hit because, again, he has friends over there, and he's not trying to show anyone up, Dan.
All right, Jimmy, thanks. Ball 1 to Matt Adams. Here's a 1-0 by Cashner to Adams. Fastball and a strike.
And Mike Leake and Derek Lilliquist down there a little bit off normally where Lilliquist stands to watch a pitcher. He's trying to pick up something.
Or maybe get a souvenir. That was right by them.
Not the net there, though. It's also good here to have a little conversation with Mike Leake and work on things. How's it going? You know, some of your philosophies you came with. Have we changed you or this or that?
I was over in the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum today with Bill DeWitt III. I'm telling you, if you haven't been over there, make sure and make the visit. It was sensational. He was able to show me some of the unique collectibles over at the Hall of Fame. And that's hit out of play. One of those being a Branch Rickey jersey. That's right, Branch Rickey, a little tight with the penny every once in a while, and so he put himself in uniform and he was managing. That uniform is over there. Just great stuff. I mean, looking at the Bill DeWitt jersey from Eddie Goodell, the keys to the city, and that's plural for Stan the Man. All the times you got a key to the city here in St. Louis. Neat place to be.
Yeah, since I purchased a family membership, you know, I don't go as often as you when you go with the team president.
Well, you're invited. You can come anytime you want.
Hey, you tell me that after you go.
We'll go tomorrow.
No, we won't.
Well, I'll be there and you can do what you need to do. I know the Cat will be there after his award-winning radio show. Really a good program on in the mornings here in St. Louis, and the Cat has decided to join me over at Ballpark Village.
What are you going to do over there?
I'm going to show him around.
Okay. Then I might show up.
Well, Cashner has struck out 3 of the first 4 he has seen. Let's turn to our Toyota keys to the game.
I just finished what we started. Already won the first 3 games of this 4-game set, so you got to win tonight to get the sweep. It's really tough to win doubleheaders. Easy to lose a doubleheader, but tough to win one. They won that yesterday, and it's tough to win a 4-game series, and they're in position to do that tonight. And I kind of feel like a little bit of pressure's been lifted off the shoulders of the Cardinals winning these games here and in this series, so you really want to finish it strong.
Nice round of applause for Yadier Molina. 2 balls and no strikes. Always love seeing what happened in this day in history. It does involve the Padres. Preston Gomez pinch hit for pitcher Clay Kirby.
I know what you're saying.
Bottom of the 8th of a no-hitter.
But he was losing 1-0, right?
That's right. Padres trailing 1-0.
Preston was a very, very proud man, great baseball man. He actually was in St. Louis and a coach for Red Shanks at one time with the Cardinals. But, you know, there was just one way to do it. And he said, I don't care if you've never had a no-hitter. My responsibility and our responsibility is to win this game. And to this day, they still have never had a no-hitter in the entire history of the Padres.
7,326 games. That's pulled foul, so it's the curse of Preston Gomez. Well, Clay Kirby came up in the 8th with 2 outs. His spot was up. They're trailing 1-0, and they went for it. He said, I'm pulling my pitcher. He was booed long. It was loud and really controversial at the time because he removes a pitcher after 8 no-hit innings.
Yeah. Now, what year was that?
1970.
So that was like their 2nd year.
Ground ball up the middle. Alexei. Oh, he made the play.
Am I right with that, Danny?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 2nd year of existence.
Follow Cardinals baseball live, MLB.com @bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment. Game day live. All the highlights, StatCast, news, and more. #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. I got Alexi out of the way. Now I feel a little better. gonna loosen you up, Al.
Explain why you get a little excited on that.
Well, that's Ken the Hawk Harrelson and all his years behind the mic with the White Sox, and Alexi Ramirez was there, and every once in a while you hear an Alexi, and he'd come up with that call. He gone.
He gone.
He gone. Now, many guys, when they, advance in their careers, they don't like to do the road games. They like to stay home and say, I'm done with the road. Not the Hawk. He does it the other way. He doesn't do the home games, but he goes out on the road.
Oh, and we won't explain why.
He claims he's the creator of the hitters in Major League Baseball wearing batting gloves.
He was a golfer.
Yep.
Wear golfing gloves.
Wainwright back to the mound. It's no score. Is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. And by your local Volkswagen dealer. Here's Alexi Ramirez. 8-9-1. Cashner to follow, and then Travis Jankowski. The Padres have homered in 18 consecutive games. Last National League team with 19 or more, all the way back in 2008. The Brew Crew had 20 straight, which they homered in 2008.
They had to do a lot of those home runs on a homestand, and it's a bit surprising. They play in such a big pitcher's ballpark. Ball doesn't travel well at night.
Ooh, he's close to being out of the batter's box and an out. And for our fans that don't know, you're out of the batter's box, ball hits you, that is an out.
Once you're in the batter's box, you're safe, but you see, he's still in the batter's box, but he said it would have pounced out there a little bit quicker.
0-2 pitch. Ooh, just missed. Hawk likes to say, stretch, stretch. And then you got, you could put it on the board, and then you're supposed to say, yes. Check swing did not go. But I know.
And Steve
that,
Stone accommodates all these.
Oh, sure. Before Steve Stone, it was DJ.
Yeah. Tom Pachort before that.
Here's a 2-2. Lined into center field and a base hit. Sir active starters with 10 or more complete game shutouts. Kershaw with 15, Colon with 13, then CC Sabathia, Felix Hernandez, and the Cardinals' Adam Wainwright.
Look at that. And then you just see a guy like Bob Gibson had 13 in his magical season, of 13 himself in that magical 1968 year. And those guys are all doing it, you know, there in their career.
Cashner showing bunt and pushes it foul. Well, for those of you that remember 1985 and the great John Tudor, 1.93 ERA. The bottom of the graphic in the yellow is where you really pay attention. He starts 1-7, and he had a high school coach that was watching video of him, saw him on TV, straightened out a mechanical flaw, and after that, 20-1. Incredible stretch for John Tudor.
And it was fun to watch John that year. I remember doing a game early in it, Jack Buck saying we're going to see two really good pitchers, but they can't get anybody out right now. And that was early in the season, but John Tudor turned it around, like winning 20 out of 21 decisions. Had 10 shutouts that season himself.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Instead of check on the runner at first. How many games did you do with the great Jack Buck?
Not enough.
Agreed. Me too.
Not enough.
So when you first started, were you doing games with him?
I was kind of alternating on radio at times, and then started the TV gig really in '86. In '85, I was doing radio and TV.
Push to the right side. Adams will tag out Cashner for the out. Advancing on the play, Ramirez to second base. He's in scoring position. There aren't many days I come to the ballpark and don't think about Jack Buck.
I agree.
Something here just reminds me of him, or having the chance to work with him.
I heard from Jack Jr. today.
Did you? Runner at second and Jankowski at the plate.
The combination of humor and play-by-play ability to separate him from, you know, in my mind, the greatest, you know, banquet speaker, master of ceremonies, whatever you want to call it. You didn't ever got a chance to listen to Jack. It was special.
There's a fly ball lifted into right. Pham spun around, makes the catch. Runner stays put, no tag. You can hear that being yelled from the field. And there's two down. Chris Lee of the Post-Dispatch. You see many of his pictures online and the daily newspaper, and that's his viewpoint right now.
He really does do a great job.
But Chris Lee and also those that are affiliated with the Cardinals, when they won in 2006, they actually have remote cameras that they can press a button to capture various pictures. And if you have a World Series ring, you'll notice that on that ring are the fireworks after the final out is recorded. First ever, and I believe the only championship ring that has the fireworks, and that was taken off a picture because they were able to press the button and catch the fireworks overhead.
Which ring is it on?
2006.
I shall go look at it. Find out.
In 2011, it's a tribute to Stan on one side of the ring. Inside it says "Happy Flight."
Oh yeah.
The mantra of that championship team. And the rally squirrel is on that as well. Now, doubt we'll ever see a squirrel on another championship ring.
We've probably had more fun with that, pointing that out to people, haven't we? Where the rally squirrel, you know, okay, there's the rally squirrel in here, find it.
That's what makes the ring pretty special too.
And Bill DeWitt III did a great job really researched and look back in time to do those World Series rings.
It's one way to stay cool tonight.
Got 6 career home runs, and I guess Martinez won't help him out.
Myers at the plate. He is fouled out. 0 for 1, 2 balls and a strike. Big gap in left center. On the inside corner. We're talking about the Padres and how well they hit the long ball and the consecutive game streak on the line today. Adam Wainwright now has gone over 56 innings consecutively without allowing a home run. Always a key to winning baseball.
Yeah, and I believe he's the only National League pitcher that can say that at home, that they haven't gone that long and haven't given up a home run. Cardinals have done a good job of keeping Will Myers down. He's ranking among most National League leaders in so many different categories, but he's just 2 for 12 in this series.
Alexei Ramirez at second base. And a 2-2 pitch to Myers from Wainwright. On its way. The cutter misses outside.
You know, one of the keys to a game like this is to get your team, your defensive team, into the dugout as quick as possible. It's very, very hot standing around out there, not conducive to keep you sharp.
Three-two pitch. Hit out of play. Dodgers come into town tomorrow, minus Clayton Kershaw. Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers, saying that his season could be through because of surgery. Michael Wacha, Brandon McCarthy tomorrow. McCarthy off the DL and has pitched really well. 2-0, 1.69 ERA. Mike Leake, Kenta Maeda. That'll be on Saturday. Cardinals face Scott Kazmir on Sunday. Undetermined, the starter for Sunday. There's a strikeout, and it's number 5 for Adam Wainwright. Midway through 3, and there's no score. Office party and the workplace wellness event of the year. The Biz Dash is Thursday, September 15th at Ballpark Village. Live music, company tailgates, and more. Fox Sports Midwest presents the Friendly Industry Team Competition. So create your company team. Join the fun by visiting stlbizdash.com. The theme night this evening, there's always a theme night. If there's not a promotional giveaway, it seems like it's Christmas in July. Definitely does not feel like Christmas right now.
No, and I saw Fred Bird wearing his Santa outfit. You would think the costume would be warm enough.
Santa is the best, Al.
You're saying Santa's better than Fred Bird?
Yes. Don't get me wrong, Fred Bird is high on my list of people I'd love to party with and hang with, but I'll tell you what, Santa, he delivers the goods. Here's the 0-2, and it swung on and missed, and Tommy Pham strikes out. So 5 strikeouts for Cashner. The 4th of 6 Academy Sports and Outdoors autograph nights, Friday, July 22nd. 2 current Cardinal players will sign autographs. That's tomorrow in the Ford Plaza, 5:45 to 6:15. 2 former Cardinals will sign for fans of all ages. For details, visit cardinals.com/promotions. And my partner would like to do one of those nights. You were telling me the other day you've never done the Academy Sports and Outdoor nights.
No. Then we have the stars do it.
Al, you are a star. Just ask you.
I knew that was coming, but
here's a 1-0 Garcia and a ground ball that's hit to second. Ryan Schimpf makes the play.
both these starters are kind of locked in with strikeout games. Both of them have 5 strikeouts to this point. Cashner is not allowed a hit. Adams allowed 2 singles. You see 34 pitches thrown.
For our fans that don't know, Al Hrabosky, my partner, Fireman of the Year in the mid-70s. And truly a great closer. As Wainwright puts it in play to second, Ryan Schimpf is there. And a 1-2-3. So that's 9 up, 9 down, 6-pitch inning. We head to the 4th, no score. Hot night for everybody involved, and that includes the umpires. Adam Wainwright making the final out, so took his time for the warm-up tosses. And our home plate umpire tonight, that's Chris Guccione and Andy Bollier, who helps out with the Cardinals behind the scenes, come out with some wet towels, and the Cardinals training staff trying to keep him cool.
And those wet towels would be soaked in ammonia water and very refreshing, and probably helps out for about 30 seconds, and then you're right back in the heat of things. But
and it's hot.
Danny, think about, you know, used to have all this kind of stuff, and you just see they're putting little ice packs up the shirt, trying to keep them relaxed and cool. But you know, guys used to do this on the turf. And think about, you know, Old Busch Stadium, you didn't have the dirt infield, you just had the cutouts for the bases. So those infielders would be standing on that hot turf Sunday afternoon, 140 degrees on the turf. Had very few, you know, and very little knowledge about how to hydrate and take care of each other.
At Busch Stadium, the cookie cutters, it just held the heat. Man, did it hold the heat there at Busch Stadium too.
Yeah, and because, you know, it was down in the hole. Now, you did have a little bit of air current flow in the center field. You know, on the lower level, I thought Cincinnati was hotter because it was deeper and there was no, you know, airflow in that stadium at all.
Right off the river. 2 balls and 1 strike on Matt Kemp, who singled to right. Outfield is straight away. Wainwright has struck out 5, allowed 2 base hits, and a ground ball. Slowly hit to Adams. Flips to Waino. Well, the batting average has dropped, but we're not too worried about that. What has dropped considerably, the ERA. May 7th, it was 6.30. Now tonight, you see what it stands at, just over 4.
Remember his first 8 starts, opponents were hitting .330 against him. Yeah, he just, and when you have so much pride that he has, and the success that he had, you know, you're just trying to figure out what in the world's happening. But you knew that he's a perfectionist and he'd figure it out, and he has.
There's Solarte, and a breaky ball taken just a bit outside. He popped out to Matt Adams, 0 for 1. Adams at first base tonight, and fairly soon we will see the return of Brandon Moss. Moss has been dealing with the ankle issue and was wearing a boot. There's Stephen Piscotty on the right, Moss on the left. But Brandon's been doing some baseball activities. Be a quick rehab assignment for him, and then you'll see him back in this lineup or coming off the bench.
And Holiday, with his last home run, number 17, tied him for the team lead.
Trade deadline is just upon us. Just about. July 21st, so a few days remaining before the deadline.
July 31st.
Off the end of the bat, little squibber. Look at all the English on that baseball, and it's an infield hit for Solarte. Was a changeup hit back to Wainwright.
Yeah, and it had all the funky movement. As you said, the English got by Adam Wainwright, who is a really good fielding pitcher. For somebody 6'7", he's got great athleticism, quick feet, and look at that spin.
So it hits off the end of the bat, then it hits the glove, and it continues spinning like that in the grass. So an infield hit for Solarte, 3rd hit for the Padres, and it brings in Melvin Upton Jr. He struck out his first time up. Wainwright struck out the side in that 2nd inning. The Cardinals have won 18 of 24 against Milwaukee, San Diego, Cincinnati. 6 games below 500 against everybody else.
And that's why you got to win this ball game, and you got to just dominate teams that are in the called 2nd division. You know, you're going to struggle, or you're going to have very competitive and tough, hard-fought games against the winning teams. But the Cardinals' success is that they would play 500 or better against the winning teams, but just absolutely dominated against teams that were lower, and particularly in the Central Division.
Going back to the Solarte at bat, and it's right off the end of the bat. That's why you see all that English.
See the curveball right there, and then he hits it right off the end and starts spinning.
Here's a 2-1. Oh, nice play by Jerko. Out at second, double play. Jerko, Garcia, Adams. And Jed has done a little bit of everything against his former team. Starts the double play. First turn by the Cardinals here tonight. Gets it on the short hop and the turn by Garcia at second base. No score here in St. Louis. Cardinals and the Padres. The bold and refreshing frozen strawberry lemonade is back, and it's only available at McDonald's. It's one way to stay cool.
Danny, we talk about these teams that come from the West Coast and come back to the Midwest in the middle of summer, and they're just not accustomed to the heat. I can remember that when we went to the West Coast, and I'm saying San Diego and LA, not San Francisco, because you would need heavy jackets there, but we had to take jackets because, you know, it might be 70 degrees at night and we were cool.
At night it get into the 60s.
Yeah, but I mean, it just seemed like, and I can remember many days in the summer in St. Louis decades ago that it would be 100 degrees at midnight.
I remember we were doing a game, you and I, in Candlestick, and it was absolutely freezing in the middle of the summer. And we went out there and had to have heaters in the booth. We were bundled up.
Yeah, their best weather out there is October. You know, they have what they call Indian summers out there, but a little better now that they moved the stadium to China Basin, but it still gets very cold.
Sure does.
Not quite as windy, not quite as cold as it was at Candlestick. Oops. Out there at the point.
1-2 pitch is fouled back. First at bat for Jerko. He was struck out as Cashner went up the ladder. He has struck out 5 in this game and is not allowed a hit.
Now, there's no doubt that Cashner has a big arm. You know, he was traded from the Cubs to San Diego. He could throw 100 miles an hour, but never has really developed into the starter or late innings reliever that I think they anticipated.
Here's a 2-2. And Jerko gives it a ride out to center field. Sinking liner, and it's caught by Jankowski just in front of the track. 12,000 kids 15 and under entering with a ticket receive their own limited edition Cardinals bear. Compliments of Build-A-Bear Workshop. And don't forget to visit Build-A-Bear Workshop's new store, now located in the Ford Plaza. For more information, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Here's Aledmys Diaz trying to make it 24 consecutive games on base. Here's a 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. The great Isaac Bruce throwing out our ceremonial first pitch.
So his game is very, very productive. Great idea.
Legends of the Dome, and that'll be this Saturday. Raises money for the Isaac Bruce Foundation. Greatest show on turf will be there. Kurt Warner, Dick Vermeil, Mike Martz, Torrey Holt, Ricky Prohl, Oz Hakeem, Mike Jones, so many others will be there. Isaac has done some great things here in our community.
Yeah, real class act.
No question about that.
Tremendous player in the field. That's understood.
2-1. Out to right center. Jankowski, plenty of room. Well, when you see those players back, you appreciate the great ownership of both teams that we have here in town, both with the Cardinals and the DeWitts. Tom Stillman with the St. Louis Blues. Owners that are invested in the city, invested in the fans, trying to make this a better place to live. It's an absolute shame with football coming up that football has left St. Louis with one of the worst owners in the history of professional sports taking his team out west. An absolute shame. Holiday hits it sharply to third, and Solarte is there. The Cardinals and the Blues, and both those teams right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Wainwright got a double play off the bat of Upton Jr. back in the 4th to end that inning, and both pitchers seem to be very locked in here tonight. Schimpf, Norris, Ramirez all coming up. mean, here we are in a hot night. It is close to 100 degrees. We will announce, I'm sure, over 40,000 here in attendance. And you want to take a franchise out of this town with this kind of support for the various sports that are around here? Good riddance.
You know, and not only is it a great sports town, but one of the best places in the Midwest to raise a family.
Strike two, Schimpf. A changeup there from Adam Wainwright. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schimpf struck out back in the 2nd inning. We showed you in that graphic of the Hyundai pitch arsenal. He does not go to that changeup very often. That pitch was up and it's hit out to deep right field. Pham is going back and plays it off the wall. So when Schimpf does make contact, it seems like it's extra bases.
And it's amazing. This young kid got 7 home runs, but just about every time he hits the ball, it's going to be an extra base hit. Breaking ball stayed up, kind of spun there for him. That's the one we were talking about. But he's got 7 home runs since July the 1st, most in the major leagues, hitting .304 this month. His first 17 hits in the major leagues, 13 of them were extra base hits. You see him concentrating on the point of contact.
Here is Derek Norris following the leadoff double. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Fastball misses outside with a cutter for ball 1. Norris struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Runner at 2nd, Ryan Schimpf. Good pitch in on his hands. Look at our Chevy Fox tracks.
Part of pitching is having hitters expand their zone, trying to get them, allow them to get themselves out.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball and a beauty. That curveball has become more consistent here in the last month.
I think so. You know, it's curveball, and I mean there were times. Sometimes it may be the fact that you don't have your fastball command, so it's going to affect all your secondary pitches also. But I think there were times he went out there and he knew he didn't have much. Now he knows he can count on his pitches and execute them.
Here's a 1-2. More times than not, you don't pay attention all that much to the pitch count with a veteran like Wainwright, but tonight you might. 2 reasons. The heat. Mike Matheny's been pulling his starters maybe a little earlier than usual, but also the pitch count from the previous start. The 2-2, he hung it, hit down the left field line, and it's a foul ball.
Good point, Snanny, and something that you got to be aware of. Also, this point in the season, his 20th start. He'll probably make like 34 on the season. But the way Adam has been pitching, his last 3 starts plus this one, he's only allowed 1 run.
The 2-2 pitch with the runner at 2nd base. On its way. And he struck him out. 6 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright. MLS Soccer Sunday, sponsored by Audi, returns this week. A red-hot rivalry. Don't miss. David Villa and New York City FC battle their crosstown rivals, the New York Red Bulls, at 11:30 on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Leadoff double, now the strikeout. 6 tonight for Wainwright. Is yet to walk a man. Here's Alexi Ramirez, the 8th place hitter. Ground ball pulled foul. 4 of the 6 have been strikeouts looking. Fastball, little bit low. Wainwright thought he had strike 2. Hit sharply into left field. Holiday is charging. Here comes Schimpf. Throw to the plate offline. Missed the cut. Throw to second. And he's in there safely. Ramirez makes it 1-0 Padres.
Well, you hate to see that when the 8th place hitter is 2 for 2 and drives in the only run of the game. 31st RBI, but that's when you'd like to think that you can have an easy and efficient inning. 1 out here. Holiday's going to charge it, but throw a little bit offline. A high throw. You see Yachty fields it up there, tries to get the batter, and he doesn't come off. Larry Vanover, the crew chief,
watch the left hand. Barely stayed on.
Yeah, just almost looks like his foot was making contact too, but.
So brings in the pitcher, Andrew Cashner. On the year, batting 176. He's sacrificed back in the 3rd. A 1-out base hit by Ramirez. He's 2 for 2. That drives in Schimpf. 1-0 Padres.
'71 pitches.
And the 1-1 pitch. Fastball and a good one. 1-2. Outfield very shallow. Big gap in left center. Cashner puts it in play. Molina calls for it. Bare hands. Runner advances. No, Ramirez does not advance from second to third. Why is he still at second base? He's got to be at third.
Yeah, he has to be. He should be there, but pointing to his head like he was thinking. But I think he was thinking the wrong way. Sure, Yachty could have done it, but I mean, if he would have had a good secondary lead, he had no advancement when that pitch was being made, moving towards third base.
He's got to be at third base. There's no excuse. Travis Jankowski has struck out looking and also flied out to right. He can run a little bit too.
Right.
That's part of this. Now, base hit should score him, but a wild pitch, you never know. Pass ball, you score from third. We'll see if it comes back to cost the Padres.
Just the fact that, you know, he didn't have a good secondary lead. He didn't have his movement going there. Sure, Yachty's got a great arm. And once you didn't move or advance, you know, you probably made the right decision to stay there. But you should have been on moving and going over to third. Watch him. He's standing pretty much flat-footed. Very content to stay there at second base.
It's popped up. Molina can't come up with it. Well, Jankowski, yesterday, you may recall, runner at third base, only 1 out. It was first and third, and I thought it was the play of the game. He bunted in that spot. Garcia made the play on the bunt and got the runner scoring. Cardinals then tacked on some insurance at the end, but at that point it was a one-run game.
Dan, it's hard to describe how difficult it is if a hitter gets that bunt down, how to get the out at home plate. And Garcia did a nice job. It wasn't the most little bit out of control and everything, just because his momentum carried toward third base and he had to advance, reverse it, and go to first to field the bunt and throw to home plate, but he got the job done.
Just wondering at the time if he was doing that on his own. He does have great speed, but we've seen when he swings the bat, he's got a little pop too.
Yeah, I think the one motto of today for coaches is never assume that a player knows what he should or shouldn't do. I have to explain everything.
3-1. The run that scored snaps Wainwright's scoreless streak at 18 1/3. That dates back to the 7th of this month.
First time he's got to 20 or more pitches.
Hit the other way into left center, and now Ramirez can just walk on home and watch Jankowski run on his way to second. He's going to try for 3. Relay to third, and they got him. With his speed, you question that too. Why is he going to third?
Yeah, I mean, because he runs into an out.
Clearly out 2-0. Bottom of the 5th. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Dan, Stephen Piscotty getting a day today. Mike Matheny thought Stephen could use a breather. Piscotty has been the model of consistency this season. Since April 27th, his batting average hasn't dipped below 284. He says it's all mental. The key for him, he says, is leaving the game, both good and bad, at the ballpark. He says once he's home, he's not thinking about baseball or reliving it at bat. He told me once he's at his apartment, he's playing his guitar or watching a sitcom on TV. His favorite shows to unwind with: Seinfeld, Big Bang Theory, and The Office. And Dan, like you, he is a Michael Scott guy.
I know he picked up guitar this offseason as a way to relax. He was telling me that's something that has helped him in the offseason. And his mom was saying recently that it's giving him something else to do outside of just swinging the bat 1,000 times a day and working out. At some point, you got to get your mind off of baseball, and that's what he does in the offseason.
But if you can do it, and I mean by, walking away from leaving the game at the ballpark, and it's very difficult to do. And when you have a great game, is pretty easy. You know, but when you have a bad game before you leave the ballpark, you got to be thinking positive thoughts about what you're going to do tomorrow.
Adams rips it out to right center. Going back, it is Kemp, and he makes the catch. Well, next time you want to grab Cardinal seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by the best value. So get the StubHub app today. Adams 0 for 2, and it brings in Yadier Molina. Right now, Andrew Cashner is perfect in this game. He struck out 5, is not allowed a walk or a base hit.
And Danny, when you say that, it has no reflection of what's going to happen in the future. But when everyone wants to get on you when you talk about a Cardinal no-hitter and it gets broken up, are they going to give you credit for ending this no-hit bid? I'll give it to you.
Absolutely. We don't buy into the jinx, do we?
No.
I'm sure there's a lot of scouts and maybe some GMs that are watching this start intently and impressed with what they're seeing from Cashner. The problem with Cashner this year, he's got good stuff. We've talked about that. He has struggled on the road, but he doesn't go deep into games.
Pitch count gets so high because he throws usually not efficient, but he's doing the job here today.
2-1 hit out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You see the 7, almost 8 ERA on the road. Opponent's batting .315 against him and winless.
Molina grounded out to short. His first time up. Out to left. There it is. Your base hit.
Way to break the jinx, Danny.
All me.
All you. You did. He didn't do anything. Molina didn't do anything. It's all you. But seeing Yachty is going down, trying to make contact, and lifts the ball over the infield for the Cardinals' first hit and first base runner of the night. You know, the odd thing about a guy like Cashner struggling on the road is he pitches in a pitcher's dream ballpark. You know, it's so big, spacious, it's hard to hit home runs there. And so if you fall behind the count to somebody, you can just throw it up there away from him, trying to say, go ahead and hit it center field.
Here's Randall Grichuk. You could see him squaring up a fastball and hitting it about 500 feet. He provides the power, and so does Cashner. He struck out his first time up.
And Grichuk does have a home run off of Cashner.
That's the pitch, though, that will get him. It's a slider. And when Cashner is right, very effective.
We have seen Randall make adjustments where he's not swinging so wildly at those pitches. And if they throw the pitch in the strike zone, you know, he can hit it, even if it's a breaking ball. But chasing the one that's out of the strike zone, you know, that was what he was struggling with early in the summer before he got sent to Memphis.
Tommy Pham is on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big gap in left center field. Fastball, and Grichuk looking for something else and struck him out for the second time. Cashner has struck out 6 now.
Still, you know, you're saying you're looking for something else, but why not go look for the fastball and then make the adjustment to something else? You're going to get a lot of fastballs. He's quick enough with his bat. Look fastball and then adjust to something that's out of the strike zone. Like that, lay off it.
Tommy Pham struck out back in the 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That same outfield.
Runner goes, swung on and missed, and a stolen base for Yadier Molina. He'll catch you by surprise, and he's done so here with the Padres.
The pace we're going, Yadi has a legitimate shot to be the stolen base crown this year.
For the Cardinals.
For the Cardinals. You know, that is his 3rd steal of the year. We got 3 guys that have the team leadership at 4.
1-2 the count on Pham. Cardinals trying to get on the board. They trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. Slider misses low and away. 2-2. Greg Garcia on deck. Tommy Pham in right field tonight with Piscotty, as Jim told you, getting the night off. To the long, hot afternoon and night, the doubleheader yesterday. The 2-2 pitch. High chopper, and it is a foul ball. The 2-2, and Pham a swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts for Cashner. First hit, only hit off the bat of Molina. Coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Steven Strasburg, first loss of the year. He's now 13-1. Cubs make a trade, and Chris Tillman, 14-2 this season. Win at the Yankees for the Baltimore Orioles, tied for the most wins in Major League Baseball. That's your greater coverage of the major leagues, presented by T-Mobile. So Chris Guccione, Alfonso Marquez, Larry Vanover, and David Rackley, they have been hot and busy tonight with the medical team of the St. Louis Cardinals, just trying to stay cool.
Not easy, you know. Nope. They're out there on the field the entire time. Of course, in my era, you used to see guys, umpires, that would come into the dugout in between innings for cigarettes.
Oh, is that right?
Billy Williams, you know, was an umpire, and not Cubs all great Billy Williams, and he would get so mad if this inning started going along because he'd have a cigarette nicotine, you know, withdrawal or something.
Remember Jim Leland? We'd have a shot at him.
Yeah.
In the dugout as Myers taps it foul, and he'd be peeking around a corner, getting a couple of drags in and then put it out.
Remember Earl Weaver with Stackhouse? They called him, he was late inning reliever, and they called him full pack because he'd have a whole pack of cigarettes watching him pitch.
0-2 the count on Will Myers. Well, it is funny. You go back and look at some of the old photos of the Blues or some of the football Cardinals, baseball Cardinals, and they're there with a cigarette in hand and smiling for the camera. Don't think you'd see that today.
No.
Here's a 1-2 and a strikeout. That's 7 for Adam Wainwright.
Well, Meyer continues to have a tough series here in St. Louis. Really good player, but wouldn't know it the other day. I guess first game of the series, he had 4 strikeouts. First time he said he did that in his entire amateur and major league career.
Matt Kemp has a base hit to right and also grounded out. 1 out and nobody on. First pitch to Kemp. Right off the mask of Guccione for strike 1. Well, if you're Chris Guccione, call the ball in the middle. This next pitch.
That's all you need. You're already trying to figure out where you are because of the heat.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle.
And you're talking about the base hit that Kemp got off of Adam Wainwright. That was just only the 4th hit, and now 28 at bats.
The 0-2. And he struck him out. 8 strikeouts for Adam Wainwright.
Adam some runs, but there you see Ed's seeing that I'm calling it a slider. I don't call it a cutter anymore. It's too big. But that was such a great effective pitch his last time out, and he's put it back here on display and getting a lot of mileage out of that slider. One, keeping it off the plate, and then the movement downward and further out of the strike zone.
Pitch just missed, a little down, maybe a little in to Solarte, who has popped out to first baseman Matt Adams and also had that infield hit. Ground ball, it's pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's take it low.
A couple sinkers here. Stepped off, got a little rosin bag that kind of dries your hand a little bit, and then mixed it with a little moisture, it gets a little tacky.
We're seeing Wainwright when he's not working from the stretch. He'll vary up his delivery to the plate. Little hesitation. Sometimes he keeps the glove at the belt. Occasionally will take the glove above the head. That's what he's done at times this inning. There's the hesitation. 3-1 pitch. Now make it 3-2. And let's see if he varies up that delivery and speed to the plate here.
The reason he does that is hitting is all about timing. So if you can disrupt that timing and show a hitter a different look. You know, they're starting their move. Here's the curveball. 3-2 pitch.
Takes it over the head that time. So he's doing a little bit of everything.
You know, if you think about it, you know, you got the one delivery where it's almost like comes, set, and goes, and the others where you have a hesitation or you bring the glove over your head. It takes a little more of that timing off, and you can get a hitter out in front. Cutter in.
Hands down at the belt and ripped into right field. That ball is fair down into the right field corner. Solarte, his second hit. This time it's a double with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th as he stops at second base. I'm sure that's a frustrating at bat for Adam Wainwright. There were a couple of pitches that did not go his way that were borderline, and you could see by his reaction he thought he had a couple of strikes.
Now, if you were patient, it really doesn't matter if you're best pitcher in the world or not. If a hitter is patient enough, you'll get a pitch that you can maybe drive. You know, if you're swinging at the first pitch, you're cutting down that percentage. But when you don't get a pitch or two, and then all of a sudden you're pitching behind the count, or in this case a full count, you know, you got to come into the hitter.
So 2 outs, runner at second, and a strike to Upton. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 4th, and was called out. Took 3 pitches. Back in the 2nd, struck out on a fastball.
Adam, with his 8 strikeouts tonight, knows that he'd rather have a guy hit his way on than to walk him.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Put the ball in play, and your defensive guys behind you can help you out and try and get you out of a jam. You throw pitches out of the strike zone, nobody can help you.
So 95 pitches, and looking ahead to the bottom of the 6th, Wainwright is due up second for the Cardinals. This might be his final inning of work as Matt Bowman starts to throw in the Cardinals' pen.
Yeah, I think there's the fact that, like you said, he threw 120 pitches last time.
Backhanded by Greg Garcia, and he makes the play.
Get him some runs.
Padres have stranded 3, and they're on top 2-0. Road gray 1956 jersey is coming up. That's Saturday against the Dodgers. No birds on the bat on the front, just the Cardinals. And you can find out more at cardinals.com/promotions to get your seats for Saturday night. Pick up your jersey.
All right, Mr. Know-It-All.
Who, Ricky?
You, Danny.
Oh.
And what was the emphasis of doing that jersey without birds on the bat?
Don't know. 1956, though. They did not have on the road jerseys the birds on the bat. The Saturday jerseys, the first jerseys since the 1920s with St. Louis on the front. That we now see that alternate jersey. A strike to Garcia. Hazelbaker at the on deck circle. A pinch hit for Adam Wainwright. And then we'll see Jed Jerko. The Cardinals 131 home runs this year, 5th in Major League Baseball. And Garcia cracks one out to right. Kemp won't get there. Over his head and into the Cardinals bullpen for a ground rule double.
Hazelbaker's going to hit for Wainwright. Nice going. Greg Garcia jumps on that pitch. Just the second hit of the night for the Cardinals, and you may have to jump on him early to try and get him right here as he's maybe going on fumes.
Speaking of the home runs the Cardinals have hit, so 5th in Major League Baseball, 6 shy of their entire total of the season ago. We still have a long ways to go. They've homered in 11 straight. That's the most since the 06 club homered in 19 straight games.
See Hazelbaker there with 7 home runs, but 3 of them as a pinch hitter this year.
The Cardinals with 10 of those.
Yeah, that ties the Cardinals record for a single season. So how about one more and be a record for team pinch hit home runs in a season, and would set it as an individual.
Time is called. He's starting to stretch a little bit out in the San Diego bullpen on this hot night, even though that Cashner is at just 69 pitches. What could be his final start as a Padre here tonight.
Or they may like what they've seen tonight and last time out and say, unless we're overwhelmed, we'll keep him.
Jay Bruce could be on the move from Cincinnati. That's a name that's been talked about. Jonathan Lucroy of Milwaukee, Jeremy Jeffress, their closer. So the Cardinals, with games remaining with Cincinnati, Milwaukee, could look like 2 different teams when we see them next.
The Cardinals always had success against them, and they must continue that.
Here's a 1-1. Hazelbaker, a fly ball that's lifted down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Not about the home runs the Cardinals have hit with pinch hitters, 10 of them. But how about just production? Pinch hitters for the Cardinals, 48 for 134 with the 10 home runs and 33 RBIs.
One and 2 the count. Runner at second base, Greg Garcia. Ground rule double into the Cardinals bullpen and right. Hazelbaker made a start in game 2 of the doubleheader. And he looks at a pitch for a called 3rd strike. 8 strikeouts for Cashner tonight.
Now look at the catcher set way outside, completely out of the batter's box. And he hits the spot, but he's set up outside of the box. And as a hitter, how do you swing at that pitch? You can't.
11 of the 17 runs have scored via the home run. Cardinals in this series. Kubota power stats. Jerko didn't like that, as he has words with the home plate umpire. He thought that ball was high.
The doubleheader yesterday, all runs scored were because of home runs.
Jerko a big part of that with 3 yesterday. Barry Bonds, Chipper Jones, the only players to have homered in 6 consecutive games against the Padres. Jerko trying to add his name to that list. Little tapper, Tough play here for Cashner. Steps, throws, and makes the play. Runner advances to third. That's Garcia. And it brings in Aledmys Diaz.
Like the time earlier where we said runner at second needed to advance. This time it was real easy for Garcia because the pitcher fielded it, and the runner's running behind his back. The other one was with Yachty looking out towards the runner at second base, and the ball's in his hand. It's a weapon, so much easier play and decision for Garcia.
Real key at bat has been the strikeout of Hazelbaker. Struck out on a borderline pitch, but then did not advance Garcia to third. And so now you're dealing in a situation here with 2 outs. Aledmys Diaz at the plate, struck out on a slider, swinging back in the first, and he's also fly to center. Hitting .338 with runners in scoring position. And Diaz words with Chris Guccione on this hot night. Temper's starting to flare a little bit.
We're line up. As a pitcher, I'd want that pitch.
And it's a base hit for Diaz, and the Cardinals get on the board. That makes it a 2-1 San Diego lead. RBI for Diaz, number 50, and the on-base streak has reached 24 in a row.
Rarefied air when you think about that. Reaching base for 24 straight games. Ties Jason Worth and Josh Donaldson for the longest streak reaching base this season. Kind of left that one on up and in, and he just turned on it. Cashner upset with himself, but right now he got a ball game.
And so the tying run is on. Go ahead run comes to the plate in Holiday, who is flying to right and grounded out to third. Brad Hand, the former Marlin, getting loose. They have 3 lefties in their pen with Buchter, Hand, and Matt Thornton. Two outs, runner at first, and Holiday looks at a ball. It'll be Schimpf, Norris, Ramirez, then Cashner coming up, looking ahead to the top of the 7th.
Matt was 1 for 6 off of Cashner. Swinging the bat a lot better right now. One game-winning RBI for the leadership here at Busch Stadium 3. Big gap out in left center.
You were asking about those uniforms, and as I mentioned, from 1957 to now, the uniform has always had the birds on the bat. 56 had no birds on the bat, either home or road. 27, they had a single bird. So it's been an evolution of that logo.
And as I correctly stated, you know the answer.
I try my best, Al.
You succeeded.
I was telling you about the young lady that had the birds on the bat for Branch Rickey. You can actually see those in Ferguson, the actual logos that she cut out. The Restoration Society in Ferguson has those, and I know the Cardinals would love to get their hands on those and put them in the Hall of Fame. 2-2 the count here on Holiday.
Sure, if they asked, they'd get one. A lot of the items are on loan from people.
And Holiday is hit by the pitch.
Well, you got him up around the face. Another nosebleed.
Got hit on the face. You can see it hit his cheek. Also, the nose is bleeding.
Obviously not intentional, but it's still a scary, scary moment for a pitcher and hitter.
So scary
and so lucky. Ball just got away, comes up and in, and he was trying to spin out of the way. You spin backwards, and because of that, it only got him on the nose.
Mike Leake will be the pinch runner for the Cardinals.
Ball spinning, but watch out, it just. There's Doug tries to get out of the way and just glances off the nose, but you can see that it cut it. You know, that's another aspect too, Danny, that, you know, as a pitcher, you know, you have to deal with that. You know that you could throw a pitch and serious harm or even kill somebody. And Andy Green also knows that it wasn't intentional, but that effect to a pitcher, you know, could be so devastating that all of a sudden you just start serving the ball right over the middle of the plate.
So that'll be it for Cashner. They'll go to their bullpen. It's a Chevy call, and Brad Hand coming on. Starter Cashner, and Andrew Cashner less than pleased. Darren Bowlesley, the pitching coach, and you can see Cashner trying to figure out as to why he was lifted in this game. And so with a lefty hand getting loose, he was going to face Adams, and now the Cardinals counter with Piscotty. And so Stephen Piscotty a chance to tie this game up or give the Cardinals their first lead of the night.
And Piscotty not a bad choice against Brad Hand. Piscotty is perfect, 3 for 3. 2 of the 3 hits are doubles.
The first pitch to Stephen, who's very good also against lefties. See dancing out there is Aledmys Diaz. He has a huge lead. Middle infielders, especially the shortstop, not even close to Diaz.
But see, that to me is that's what you got to do. Get into the head of the pitcher. There's 2 outs. And if you get the hitter out, that runner at second can't do anything. But if you start wasting a lot of time thinking about that, you know, you're gonna make a mistake to your hitter.
Here's a 1-0. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Home runs allowed in relief. The Padres 41 allowed. The Cardinals have added to that in this series. Runners at first and second. 2-out RBI single by Diaz. Holiday hit by the pitch. And now the 2-0 Stephen Piscotty. On its way. Good cut. 2-1.
Taylor Hand really slings the ball up there. Righties and lefties batting .205 against him. And for really getting a lot of strikeouts this year.
The 2-1. Piscotty hits it to short. Alexi Ramirez to second base, and Ryan Schiff for the force. Padres have the lead 2-1. Here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Al Raboski alongside. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes here as well. And our entire Fox Sports Midwest crew. Well, Adam Wainwright here tonight. Just a couple of mistakes, but other than that, very sharp. The AT&T high-speed replay. 8 strikeouts here tonight.
And no walks. He does allow 7 hits, but 3 of them came in the 1 inning where they scored 2 runs. Other than that, he never had more than 1 base runner per inning. So Bowman, who Rule 5 pick, I think we all said he had a good arm. There's our Chevy called the bullpen, but to see him appear for 31st time, good ERA, getting more and more important assignments and doing the job. And he's right, he gets a ton of ground balls.
Here's Schiff, who has doubled and scored. First pitch taken for a ball. We're underway here in the top of the 7th. Padres about hit the Cardinals 7-3, and they lead by the score up 2-1. RBIs for Ramirez and Jankowski, and there's a fly ball out to left. Hazelbaker can't make the catch, and this is a fair ball. So an error on Jeremy Hazelbaker.
Comes over here, and it's a fair ball, and just whether hit him on the heel of the glove, but he had plenty of room, nobody bothering him. Almost hit him on the wrist, but in the heel of the glove, and all of a sudden Bowman's going to have to pitch out of this little jam, not of his making.
Norris has struck out twice. Fastball and a strike. 0-1 the count. The Hyundai pitch arsenal: fastball, slider, and change.
Just think about that sinking fastball. Two-seamer.
Oh, and 2, no. Called it a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. I would say the strike zone has floated a little bit for Chris Guccione, but you know what? It is hot. I'm not trying to make excuses, but it is hot, and it's tough to
factor it in.
Be that consistent all the time. Good pitch, jammed him. Runner will advance. Jerko makes the play.
I mean, every half inning, Guccione, our home plate umpire, has been attended to by the trainers.
I think the umpires see the assignments and they dread coming to St. Louis in mid-late July and August, or being behind the plate.
Well, I think too, as you see, a lot of these guys are in much better shape than where some of the umpires used to be. Yachty gone a little time, and Mike Matheny going out there. Nobody warming up for the Cardinals, so this is all about what they want to do with the runner at third base and just 1 out.
You think about Bowman, who's gotten a lot of ground balls. You put Ramirez on and play for the double play, or do you bring the infield in, or do you think he could strike him out? I mean, all these options right now are on the table.
Yeah, and one of the things is Ramirez is having a good day. He's 2 for 2. He's 1 for 2 off of Bowman. So it may be a situation where you're not initially going to intentionally pass him, but you go in a position and you'll pitch to him, but really trying not to throw strikes, trying to let him expand his zone, get himself out. We got the infield in.
1 out. Ramirez, strike 1. There's always
right
the possibility of a squeeze in these situations too.
I mean, I think this is almost a tailor-made one with a hitter like Ramirez.
Runner at third is Schimpf, and the 0-1 pitch. Ramirez lines it into right center, and that ball is down. Alexei Ramirez is now 3 for 3. Schimpf will score. That makes it a 3-1 San Diego lead.
Sure like the intentional pass.
Second RBI for Ramirez. It's back to a 2-run Padres lead.
And another pitch that's up. Obviously, look at Yachty. He wanted the ball away. Ball come all the way up on him. Richie tries to make a circus catch just beyond his reach. And Tommy Pham was backing him up. So once it wasn't caught, it was going to be pretty much a double either way.
Here's Alex Dickerson. Outfield straight away. First pitch. Take it for a ball at 93. Alexei Ramirez, your runner at second base. Looking ahead to the bottom of this inning, the Cardinals will have Molina, Grichuk, and Pham. Bowman trying to make sure it stays a 2-run lead. Yanked foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Dickerson, the pinch hitter, he's had a couple of starts in this series.
Yeah, they really like him. He was leading the Pacific Coast League in hitting before he was called up.
And the 1-1 pitch from Matt Bowman to Dickerson. See Yachty questioning the strike zone of Chris Guccione. May have been a bit high.
The thing is, we don't like the fact that everything's high.
The 2-1 pitch. Hit the other way over Diaz and out to left. Here comes Ramirez. He will score. Cut off by Jerko, and it's 4-1 Padres. So the error by Hazelbaker set the stage for this inning. Then the ground out by Norris, and now back-to-back base hits. Double by Ramirez. Drives in his 32nd. And now Dickerson going down on a nice piece of hitting and takes it the other way.
Sure did.
Sokolovich, a right-hander, throwing in the pen. And a strike to Travis Jankowski.
Sokolovich, we haven't seen Michael since he's been recalled. Nice job last year for the ball club.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jankowski, who is doubled. One ball and one strike. Two strikes, excuse me. Check swing. Man did not go. 2-2 the count. Cardinals have turned a double play tonight. How about number 2?
Slider here.
Count runs full. Dickerson, your runner at first. Would they start the runner? Up by 4, 1 score. Very short lead at first. He is running and the pitch is hit out of play.
Watching Bowman when Ramirez is out at second base. Really didn't pay a lot of attention to him there, and not burying his looks or doing double looks to the runner at first. That slider again.
Runner goes again, and a late swing to stay alive.
Fastball in.
And it's taken for a ball. The word on Matt Holliday: suffered a facial abrasion in the nose upper lip area. No fracture, status day to day. So it looks like that'll be it for Matt Bowman. So be our Chevy called to the pit. Miguel Sokolovich coming on when we come back.
see his numbers from a year ago, 28, 4-1, 1-loss record. Did a nice job. Is signed with a minor league free agent contract a year ago with the Cardinals. He was recalled on Tuesday from AAA, where he was 2-5 there with a 2.75 ERA and 3 saves. You get Will Myers, who is one of the top offensive players in the National League, is among the leaders in so many different categories, but a tough series. 0 for 3 in this game, 2 for 14 in the series. Can't let this game get any more out of hand.
So runners at first and second, 1 out, and here is Will Myers. Takes a pitch outside and low. Myers tonight has popped out, struck out twice. And he hits a fly ball into shallow right. Late break by Pham and makes the catch, racing in and calling off Garcia at the last moment.
Like to have a little better communication, but as long as they don't collide. But you know, the infielder's taught to go back out there until calls off the infielder. You can see now he's calling it off, but Garcia did hear it and got out of his way. It's a second out.
Brings in Matt Kemp. A base hit to right. Is grounded out to first and also struck out.
Kemp faced Sokolovich last year in one plate appearance and walked him. Kemp, 20 home runs already this year. He had 23 all last year. Having a big night. He didn't hit his 20th home run last year until September 9th.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Matt Kemp. It's a good changeup.
I was going to say, we remember that Sokolovich had a very good changeup.
Really throws his body towards the plate, sells it.
Really sells it, like you say, and kind of a line, charging a line drive, and then the ball just kind of oozes out at the same release point as his fastball.
2 strikes, 1 and 2.
Guys like Sokolovich and Tui Valala, Mitch Harris, guys that did a nice job last year, but then didn't make the team out of spring training. Of course, Harris has been out for the year and eventually did have elbow surgery, right? Not Tommy John, but related to the elbow.
Pitch that's up and pulled foul by Kemp. Nice play made by Pham down the left field line.
I'm keeping this one.
Look what I found.
With his speed over at first base, ball in the gap, and he'll score from first.
Molina sets up outside, 2-2, and he struck him out. So the Padres pick up 2. They add to their lead. It's now a 4-1 San Diego lead. hot, steamy night here at the ballpark. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals get a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Kevin Quackenbush is the new pitcher for the San Diego Padres. Yadier Molina will lead it off, followed by Randall Grichuk and Tommy Pham. So the Padres bullpen, so Chevy Call left to get the final 9 outs against St. Louis. The Cardinals have been one of the top teams 7th inning or later in terms of offense.
Boy, it just seems like our Honda home run inning has come up big quite a few times. Hopefully here we can get things going.
Molina with a single to left, stole a base and grounded out to short. Looks at a strike, and we're underway here in the bottom of the 7th. Yachty on the year at 264, cracked his 3rd home run yesterday. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Dodgers in town tomorrow. Still some seats available. First of 3 with LA tomorrow night. Big gap in left center field.
Quackenbush. He appeared yesterday through a couple innings. 3 hits, 3 strikeouts in the doubleheader.
Kyle and Lauren here at the ballpark and recently engaged. Want to say hi to family and friends. It's Kyle and Lauren. Their engagement gift, a present to a hot, steamy night at the ballpark. There's a high fly ball lifted into right field. Backing up, Matt Kemp on the track to make the catch. So Quackenbush gets the first out here in the bottom of the 7th on Fox Sports Midwest.
Grichuk 1 for 3 off of Quackenbush. A little bit about the Padres. Quackenbush, who's a reliever, he leads their club with 6 wins.
Off the mask of the catcher. Hot night for the umpires. Hot night for Derek Norris behind the plate. Then he takes one right off the mask. San Diego will go to Washington. Being our nation's capital over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Dodgers in town here in St. Louis. 1 out, nobody on, and the 0-2. Breaking ball and struck him out. Plaza Tires Fox Tracks.
Just a hanging breaking ball, and it's rung up on it. You know, there's a pitch that, like I said, you know, hitters a lot of times don't swing at because it's not called a strike. And if they realized it and were ready, you can look fastball and adjust to that. And
Much better breaking ball there.
Yeah, that's a good breaking ball, but the other one, you know, you're going to hit it a long way.
One and 1 the count. So Randall Grichuk has struck out 3 times tonight. Pham has struck out twice. 0 for 2. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Cardinals trying to get anything going. Just 3 hits in this game. They've been out hit 9-3 and trail 4-1. That's ripped down the right field line. Slicing and a fair ball. It carries all the way to off the wall. And a double standing up for Tommy Pham.
We've seen Tommy Pham use both foul poles and hitting home runs. That ball just missed hitting a home run by about a foot or two. It just never had the elevation, but had the carry distance. Look at there. And just about the middle of the 335. So peck away.
So Pham is 1 for 3. It'll bring in Garcia, who doubled and scored back in the 6th. Darren Bowlesley out to visit. Right-hander throwing in the bullpen for San Diego. Outfield is straight away. Runner at second, Tommy Pham. Garcia looks at a strike. The Padres picked up 2 runs in the 5th. Cardinals with 1 in the 6th. On a 2-out RBI single to left by Diaz. Padres with 2 in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not sure if that crossed up Norris or not. He did catch that a little funny. Now with all the facial hair on Major League Baseball, you'd fit right in. Tashner and now Quackenbush.
Kind of silly now that I got thrown out of St. Louis for not shaving.
Derek Norris with that look. Here's a ground ball hit to the right side, taken by Myers. He'll step on the bag, and the Cardinals strand a runner, their 4th of the night. We head to the 8th. 4-1 Padres. Came out of the helmet cup, and now it's turned into protective gear. Rally ice cream cup helmet, I guess.
Maybe it's in honor of Junior going into the Hall of Fame this Sunday.
Always wore his hat on backwards.
He kind of turned that and made it cool to all the young kids.
Going in with Mike Piazza. And Piazza going in as a Met will be in New York on Monday night. I was watching MLB Network the other day, as this is Solarte, and they were doing a look back at Piazza's career, and he was interviewed, and they found this old footage of Piazza as a young boy, really a teenager, and Ted Williams comes to his house. He had a batting cage at his house to watch him hit. Could you imagine that? Ted Williams shows up to give you some pointers. It's like Stan the Man showing up.
You know, one of the most impressive things about Piazza to me.
That's well hit. Deep right field, and this ball is gone. Solarte with the home run. That's now his 10th this year. Extends the lead to 5-1 San Diego.
Oh, he's missing the triple for the cycle. Single in the 4th, the double in the 6th, home run here in the 8th. I was going to say that Piazza came from a wealthy family, and we heard the story that we're going to see the home run pitch. You know that Tommy Lasorda was really his godson was his brother. Everybody said it was Mike Piazza, and the story that Tommy wanted the Dodgers to sign him, and they said, well, we looked at him, we don't like him. And Tommy, being Tommy, said, well, after you draft everybody you like, as a favor to me, I want you to draft Mike Piazza. And so he was drafted like in the 62nd round. Well, they sent him to the Dominican, to the summer leagues there, which I don't know if I've ever heard of an American going and playing in the leagues down there that are just for the young teenage phenoms that are signed, but really have no idea. It's a million miles away. The thought of money and trying to play baseball, and when I heard that about him, I've always had admired him for that. Never complained, didn't do anything, and obviously he got out of the Dominican Summer League, and now he'll be enshrined in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
One of the great home runs in recent memory, Mike Piazza, game after baseball returned at Shea Stadium at the time, and obviously in New York and across the country, really across the world, emotion so high, but certainly in New York, and he hits a mammoth home run that just sent the place going crazy. That first game back, and it's one of the signature moments of his career.
As far as I know, Piazza was never linked to any PEDs, but I think maybe and hopefully that will help out some of the other players that played in that era that we know that was tainted.
Well, the one that comes to mind for me would be Jeff Bagwell. If Piazza's in, and there's been the innuendo has been out there.
Right, the whispers. And
he was asked about it on a conference call this past week again and was upset about it. He said, no, I never took PEDs or steroids. But the other guy that there's been the whispers about is Jeff Bagwell, but Bagwell's numbers are right there too.
And no concrete evidence of either one of them.
1 ball, 2 strikes here on Melvin Upton Jr. It's a slippery slope when you start accusing individuals of those kind of things if it keeps them out of the hall. Nearly to the backstop. 2-2. It was a nice interview before the game with a man that is in the Hall of Fame. Ford Frick Award winner Dick Enberg, the voice of the Padres on the television side, working with Mark Grant here tonight. He was on our pregame show.
Right after that interview, I was talking with Dick a little bit, and he did mention, as you see the strikeout, did mention, there he is, but how much he loves baseball and how it just means so much to him, and the fact that it's one of his goals is to call that no-hitter for the Padres. He's called 9 no-hitters. Most of them were when he was with the Angels and they had Nolan Ryan. But he was hopeful of that. He's been with what, the Padres since I think 2010.
About 7 years, yeah. Longtime voice of the NFL. Called so many of the great games in the run. Lou Alcindor and UCLA. And earlier this year, Detroit, the Tigers brought him back to his hometown to call a Tigers game. That was always one of his dreams too. He was telling me, he said, I couldn't hit like Al Kaline, so I figured I better start describing it.
You know, Wimbledon, called a lot of those. And Mark Grant thinks we're talking about him. Why?
2-0 pitch. There's Mark Grant there on the right. Give Dick plenty of credit for putting up with him.
Yeah. Mark is from Joliet, Illinois. Must be some institution up there that he escaped from.
Yep. And he's one of our favorites.
Yes.
He fits right in with us.
Except I don't understand the note on the door.
He kept coming in. We have a sign that says on air, do not come in.
And we're not talking about the Hall of Famer. We're talking about the Hall of Shamer, Mark Grant.
So I left a note on the door yesterday that said, Mark Grant, the note above applies to you, something along those lines, and it was signed all Major League fans and professional athletes. And he got a kick out of it.
Of course he did. He's got a great sense of humor and a very, very funny guy. A lot of impersonations.
Here's a 3-2 pitch to Ryan Schimpf. Had him out in front with a changeup. Just got a piece.
Never faced Sokolovich. Don't know about that changeup. Maybe halfway back to the dugout.
The famous "Oh my" from Dick Enberg. That's his call. So a 1-out walk after the home run. Come up with an original idea while you're at it there, Mark. And it says, I love Tom Mee, and that's the director of the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm not sure Dick Enberg realizes what Mark Grant is doing at this point.
I think he's hoping he's not doing anything.
So 1 out and a runner at first. Here is Derek Norris. Crowd tonight 40,134. 40134. Two 2-0 the count. Pitch number 28 for Miguel coming up. Having issues finding the strike zone. 3-0. And with that, the Cardinals get a right-hander up and throwing. Looks like it is Seth Maness. Lefty is throwing in the pen. There's Seth. Lefty throwing in the pen for San Diego. When you look at the score, you see 5-1. You wouldn't know that Adam Wainwright struck out 8 and pitched effectively. As the offense again has been quiet tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike.
You know, home runs are great, but sometimes you can become too dependent on them. And This team does struggle to manufacture runs, so if they aren't hitting home runs, they can really be held in check.
Yanked foul, 3-2. Any big birthday plans later tonight, Al?
Bed.
Another one of those big nights, huh?
Big night.
Even Scotty and Rick decided to wish you a happy birthday on their hit on the video board here.
I appreciate that.
There's a strikeout. So from 3-0, he strikes out Norris. Stolen base at second for Schimpf. Well, Matt Holliday, no fracture. He's okay. He was hit on the nose, it looked like. And tomorrow night, add his bobblehead to your collection. 30,000 fans, ages 16 and older. Take home a Matt Holliday bobblehead, courtesy of AAA. For tickets and more information, visit Cardinals.com/promotion. Scary moment. Cashner, hard thrower. Look at this. Catches the nose of Holliday. Started to bleed and had to leave the game.
The nose and upper lip. And all things considered, Danny, it could have been a heck of a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. It's a facial abrasion is what it's being called. Nose, upper lip area. No fracture. Status day to day. 2 outs, runner at second, and a strike. Alexi Ramirez at the plate. And the 0-1. Ramirez has been the hitting star for the Padres tonight, along with Solarte. Triple away from the cycle. Ramirez 3 for 3 with 2 RBI.
I always hate that, Danny, when it's your 8th place hitter has the big night. Not that an 8th place hitter can't have a great night or really beat you in a ball game, but that's normally an 8th place hitter is there for a reason. And you want to dominate against him.
Change up again, popped up into shallow right, going out Garcia, and he makes the catch. Padres with a Solarte home run here in the top of the 8th, and they lead this ball game 5-1. brought to you by Bud Light Lime. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the post game over at Fox Sports Midwest Live may be a little subdued tonight. Cardinals trailing 5-1. We'll see if they can't come back in this game. Jeremy Hazelbaker leads it off. It's our Chevy call to the pen, and one of 3 lefties, Ryan Buchter.
And Buchter's really done a nice job for them. Left-handed batters hitting 127 off this lefty. Righty's not much better at 195. He's worked scoreless ball in 41 of his 45 games. But we're ready for a comeback.
Key moment in this game. The error by Hazelbaker that opened up a 2-run inning in the 7th for San Diego. They tacked on another run in the 8th, and they lead it 5-1. Top Cardinals prospect Alex Reyes is pitching tonight. It's in the 3rd inning for Memphis, so that should eliminate the speculation of Reyes appearing and starting on Sunday night. There was some talk about that. So that would not be the case, and I would have to assume it would be Tyler Lyons with Bowman pitching tonight as well.
Yeah, I would think so, and even with Bowman pitching tonight, and he will definitely be ready for long relief in that game on Sunday.
The Cardinals will be the final team to use a starter outside their original 5 breaking spring training.
As an example, the Padres have used 11 different starters.
Big gap in right center, and a 2-1 pitch to Jeremy Hazelbaker. Taken high, and it's 3-1. Jed Jerko is on deck. And then we'll see Aledmys Diaz, who has the lone RBI for the Cardinals this evening.
I'm ready for a comeback.
Hazelbaker got off to that remarkable start and slowed down, eventually was sent down to the minor leagues, and has made his way back up with the injuries to the Cardinals. 3-2 the count. Jeremy with a fly ball out to center. And it is off the wall, and he is flying around second, and no stop there. Leadoff double for Hazelbaker. That ball was scorched out to center field.
How many times we talk about or show you where the Padres played their center fielder on the right side, shade over to right. This time they had Jankowski shading left field. So he's looking up there, which that ball probably wouldn't have had to move his tracks. But for the first 3 games, we never saw the center fielder really move at all. He's always into right center. Glad he didn't, and I'm ready for my comeback.
Here's Jed Jerko. Runner at second base, nobody out. Jerko, base hit into center. Hazelbaker will score. And it cuts a lead to 5-2.
Keep on pushing, boys.
Brings in shortstop Aledmys Diaz with a base hit to left and an RBI. Colton Wong has grabbed a bat. He moves to the on-deck circle.
He has extended his hitting streak, or reaching base, to 24 games earlier.
First pitch taken for a ball, high and outside. Trevor Rosenthal starting to get loose in the Cardinals pen. Jerko, your runner at first base. 2 balls, no strikes. Get another man on and it gets interesting.
What you got to do. You know, this game is winnable. And I think the scenario I've got, this game's winnable, and either Rosenthal is getting the win or he's getting to save it.
That's lifted out to left field. Jerko back to first base with 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Along with Al Roboski, Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Here's Colton Wong with the runner at first and 1 out. Wong still trying to get on track, has not seen consistent playing time, so it's been very tough for him to get in a rhythm.
The worst thing you can do is, you know, come to the plate and think that you've got to get a month's work of production. The only thing you do is take this 1 at bat at a time. Just relax.
Oh, 2.
Think of all the home runs the Cardinals have hit this year, and then you look at Wong, who's got a little pop, as Jim Hayes says. You know, he only has 1 and very few extra base hits.
RBI for Jerko gives him an RBI in 4 straight games, 1 shy of his career best 5 as a member of the Padres back in 2013. Here's the 0-2. Wong, a base hit into left center. Jerko on his way to third. Wong into second base. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Way to go, Colton Wong. Go out there and have a little fun. And this is more indicative of how Colton Wong can swing the bat. Got extra base power. He's got that good speed. Feels good about himself. Having a key at bat coming through. Jerko does a nice job reading that well and getting over to third. They're getting Mauer up.
Well, maybe a little too late. I mean,
yeah.
He got him up a little, I'd say maybe a minute or 2 ago, and now the Padres trying to buy some time, and you've got Stephen Piscotty, who's terrific with runners in scoring position and is one of the best in the league against left-handed pitching. Up and in.
He's just dynamite with runners in scoring position. So many aspects where he's so much under control and way advanced for his age and experience level. I think part of it is Buchter had been so good for Andy Green, you know, that he never expected to see, you know, 3 base hits in an inning.
Have to expect the unexpected.
Well, you have to.
1-1 the count. Big gap in left center.
Well, they got their center fielder where they normally have been playing him, over shading right field.
Here's a 1-1. Hitters count now. 2 balls, 1 strike on Stephen Piscotty.
That's so key too, isn't it, Dan? That got a guy that knows his own strike zone and knows what he can do, and patient up there, not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, but hit with a count in your favor.
Piscotty, fly ball, right center, to the wall. It's gone! It's gone! He tied it just over the wall, just over the outstretched glove of Jankowski. Can you believe this? 5-5. This game seemed all but over. This place was dead. No more. The Cardinals home run 7th inning or later. 49. First in Major League Baseball. It's a brand new game here in St. Louis.
I think I kind of told you this is what was going to happen.
What's your birthday?
Never lost on my birthday when I'm 87.
Ball 1 to Molina. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-0.
Scotty.
And again, where is Mauer in this game?
Well, right now, looks like they might even have sent him down.
Villanueva starts to throw. Our Nissan drive of the game off the bat of Stephen Piscotty. Got just enough into right center.
Didn't start this game, but boy, he's made an impact in it. His 14th home run, 3 RBIs, giving him 56 now.
2-2. I mean,
I'm a little disappointed now Broxton is throwing and not Rosenthal. I wanted this to be the game where they come from behind and what looked like it's going to be a loss, and also Rosenthal got himself back on track, but Broxton will have to do it now.
Ground ball that's hit to second. I'm not so sure you want to bring Rosenthal in a tight game right now. I mean, he's had one good outing since that really rough outing against Miami, and I get what you're saying, but
yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. You know, it's only a wrong answer if we bring him in and he doesn't do the job. But the one thing we're going to have to realize is there's going to be a time when Mike's going to have to bring him into a game, whether it's the last man up or not. And I think you start building his confidence back.
Here is Randal Grichuk. He's had a tough night. Struck out 3 times. He could change that though with one swing of the bat. The Cardinals down 5-1 at the start of this inning have tied it up 5-5. Grichuk with a fly ball into right center. Got under it just a bit, and Jankowski makes the catch. Stephen Piscotty has tied the game with a 3-run homer over the wall in right center. And a curtain call to boot. extends the Cardinals streak to 12 consecutive games with a home run, second longest in franchise history. We are tied at 5. Cardinals trailed 4-1, then 5-1, and now 5-5. Jonathan Broxton into the ball game for St. Louis.
You know, Dan, I was just looking at Mauer's numbers. Now, we've been told he's pitching well and have a lot of confidence in the big right-hander.
Here is Brett Wallace.
But his numbers, he's 0-2 with a 5.15 ERA in 45 appearances, and he's only got 3 saves. Brett Wallace has just been activated. He was on the paternity list. Congratulations, he and his wife have a new baby, their first.
This, by the way, ironically enough, is the 1-year anniversary of Stephen Piscotty's debut in Major League Baseball. He debuted against the Chicago White Sox this date a year ago. And what a year it's been.
That was my birthday present last year.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Wallace. So Broxton into pitch. Garcia at third. Wong is at second. Jerko at first. Pham is in center. And Stephen Piscotty is in right. There's a good look at all your changes. The 2-1 pitch. Cardinals due up. Pham, Garcia, Hazelbaker. Wallace on the year batting .210. The 3-1 pitch on its way. Hit the other way, slicing foul. I'll never forget the time we had Brett Wallace up here in the booth as he was drafted by the Cardinals, and his base, how big the legs were. Highly decorated collegiate athlete at Arizona State, and against the Cardinals, pretty good numbers. 2 home runs. He's driven in 20 in 43 games, average above 300. It was so big when he came in here.
Oh yeah, thunder thighs. And I think there at Arizona State, he had 3 triple crowns in that league. That's good baseball.
What's on tap, presented by Budweiser. McCarthy and Waka. Coverage begins at 6:30 tomorrow. Three-two. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Comes back to strike out Brett Wallace.
Brett's done a nice job. This pitch just looking for a strike, and swings at a pitch that's up that he's not going to catch up to. You can see he's mad at himself. That was his first at bat since his wife Taylor presented him with their first baby boy, Beckett, born on Monday.
Top of the lineup in Jankowski. Boy, he was close to pulling that ball back in off the bat of Piscotty. Here's an 0-1 pitch to Travis Jankowski at the top of this lineup. 0-2.
Cardinals play their left fielder really close to the left field line. Paid off a couple times in this series with Jankowski batting. Villanueva is warming up.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. It stays 0-2. What a win this could be if the Cardinals could find a way to pick up a sweep against San Diego, down 5-1. The Cardinals really haven't had that prolonged winning streak, or even a situation where you think about 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 12, something like that. Mike Matheny's been preaching that to anybody that wants to listen. We haven't gone on our streak yet. Well, this might be it.
And we all know that even if you're a winning team or not, most teams will go on at least one of those prolonged winning streaks.
The 0-2.
Just got to make sure your losing streaks are very short. But I think too, there's some signs that they can come back and win this one. Win 4 straight games against the Padres. The first game yesterday was 4-2. Yes, the second game was 3-2. This is probably going to be a 1-run game, possibly going into extra innings. So those were the games the Cardinals weren't winning. Those close ball games that we took for granted a year ago.
The 0-2. Ground ball hit to the right side. Colton Wong is there. Gets Jankowski. 2 outs. And it brings in Will Myers.
You worry a little bit with a guy like Will Myers right now. As I mentioned, he's among the league leaders in so many offensive categories. 0 for 4 in this game with a couple strikeouts. Really has had a tough series. 2 for 15.
Over his last 29 against right-handed pitching. So the do factor is there. Why not let it happen against Tanner Roark tomorrow in Washington?
Right. Exactly.
Again, the Cardinals with Pham, Garcia, and Hazelbaker all due up for St. Louis, looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. Cardinals fell behind 2-0. Then it was 2-1 after 6, 4-1 after 7, 5-1 after the top of the 8th inning, and the Cardinals in the bottom half pick up 4, highlighted by the 3-run homer from that man there, Stephen Piscotty.
Mauer gets back up. If they were to take a lead, he would come in and try and close it out. Stays tied. Villanueva.
Here's a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. May have gotten away with that pitch. Seemed to be up middle. Little late movement there from Broxton, who's throwing a tad bit harder here recently. As he mentioned to all of us that he may do that as the season goes on. Molina is setting the defense of Jed Jerko at first base, moves him closer to the line. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Big gap in left center field. The Cardinals this year 3-38 when trailing after 7 innings, and they can change that here with a win tonight. Piscotty did not start this game, but boys, he made an impact. 3-1 pitch to Will Myers. Ground ball left side. Garcia, a chance to win it when we come back. Broxton, a 1-2-3 inning. We're tied up. It's 5-5. That was moments ago. Steven Piscotty with a 3-run homer to tie the game up at 5. We are in the bottom of the 9th. 5-5 our score. San Diego's out hit the Cardinals 10-8. Carlos Villanueva is the new pitcher. And Tommy Pham will lead it off for St. Louis.
So Chevy called to the bullpen. His last outing was the first game of this series. Carlos threw 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He is 1-0 on the season with 1 save and a 5.19 ERA. Right-handed batters are hitting .326 off of him, and lefties .265.
So Tommy Pham will lead it off. Outfield is straight away. 5-5 our score here in the bottom of the 9th. Pham on the first pitch fouled it back in a good cut. We saw it a lot last year with Villanueva. Tons of off-speed pitches, a couple of variations on the curveball, and Pham hits it into left field. Is he going to try for 2? Rounding first, on his way to second, and he is saved. No slide, and Pham is in there safely.
He's lucky there, and they're checking it out to see if they want to challenge this one, but
where's the slide?
You've got to slide, got to anticipate it. In order to stop on the bag, you slow up. So if you're sliding in there, and watch, you'll see him slow up there. You have to slow up to be able to stay on the bag, and you know it's something that you just can't do. He's safe there, and he stays on the bag, but Tommy, slide.
So man at second. No challenge. Here's Garcia. Will they bunt? Will they swing? They will walk him to get to Jeremy Hazelbaker. Hazelbaker has doubled here tonight.
Andy Green, who is third base coach and with the Diamondbacks last year, is rookie manager here, and they say he's going to be a good one. Mark McGuire says he's a young Tony, as Tony was very complimentary of him. Good baseball man.
Well, you set up the potential of a double play, force play at third. The thing is, with Hazelbaker, he can bunt. He's a good bunter.
And he can run too, so puts a little more pressure on the defense.
Well, you think about it too, you get 3 cracks at it potentially if you don't bunt. You think about Hazelbaker, left-handed batter, being able to pull Carlos Villanueva, who is not a hard thrower.
Yeah, and I think you also got to remember too the way Jerko and Diaz are so hot and hitting against San Diego this year. You'll take your chances that even if you do get those guys moved up with 1 out.
Well, you could sacrifice here, but then first base is left open. Jerko, they're not going to let him swing the bat. You wouldn't think, with the way that he's been going against his former team. You can load him up, but then you have to deal with Diaz, who has been swinging a hot bat. So
yeah,
pick your poison.
All kinds of things. Put it this way, we prefer to be in the Cardinals' shoes rather than the Padres.
So runners at first and second. Outfield is shallow. Good speed with Pham at second base as this place is ready to erupt. Hazelbaker gets a bunt down. A beauty. Runners advance to second and third. Now the decision on the Padres is to whether or not they want to pitch to Jed Jerko. You would think there'd be no chance they do that. They'd walk him intentionally, and he'd have the bases loaded. for the rookie Aledmys Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, there's, in some ways, I don't like the sacrifice because of what you're talking about. It just makes perfect sense to load up the bases and go for the double play.
So they will walk Jed Jerko. They won't let him beat them again. Diaz, if you're wondering, is grounded into 6 double plays. Why are they walking him? He's the hottest hitter right now in the National League, maybe in all of baseball, and certainly red hot against his former team. Diaz picked up the first RBI of the night. He could pick up the last for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Diaz is, in case you're wondering, 2 for 2, a double and a triple off of Villanueva.
No career walk-off hits. He'd love to change that right now.
Cardinals have already had 23 come from behind wins, and they've had 3 walk-off wins.
So here we go. 1 out, bases loaded. First pitch to Diaz. Ball 1. And there's also pressure on Villanueva to throw strikes.
I kind of aimed that ball right there. Of course, he's a veteran, been around in these situations a long time.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Diaz. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch to Diaz. Pretty big pitch on 2-0 to go with the breaking ball. But at this level, you've got to do that.
Yeah.
Sitting on a fastball.
Especially when you think about Villanueva, you know, you've got to know that's going to be probably what you're going to try to put you away with.
The 2-1 pitch to Aledmys Diaz. On its way. 3-1. Diaz in the driver's seat. 3 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded, 5-5 here in the bottom of the ninth. The 3-1 to Aledmys Diaz. Make it 3-2. Went with a breaking ball on 3-1. What a tough pitch that is.
Well, that's why I expect him to throw. Even with the bases loaded behind the count, I wouldn't be surprised here. Just have to be quick enough to foul off a fastball, but you could look breaking ball off of being away.
It's a 3-2 pitch to the Cardinals shortstop and all-star. Diaz wins it. Base hit in the left. Down 5-1 in the 8th. The Cardinals walk it off. They sweep the Padres. 6-5 the final.
That celebration is for real. The Cardinals and their fans have been waiting to celebrate at home, to do something spectacular. The team, and this was a team effort today, to come back in this one and to keep on going. You got the Dodgers coming to town. There's wild card implications there. And nice going, Diaz.
Aledmys Diaz is our Budweiser player of the game. First career walk-off hit. The Cardinals have a sweep of the San Diego Padres. 4 in a row they've won. They'll welcome the Dodgers into town tomorrow night. This team is starting to turn the corner. A little late magic by St. Louis, capped off the first career walk-off hit from the All-Star. The shortstop, Aledmys Diaz, as Tommy Pham started it off with a double. He scores the winning run, and the Cardinals come back from a 5-1 deficit, and they win this game 6-5. Some excitement here at Busch Stadium as we send it down to Jim Hayes, who's standing by with Stephen Piscotty.
Stephen had the big 3-run homer that tied it and set up the win for the Cardinals. To come back the way you guys did and win your 4th straight at home, it's got to feel great.
Yeah, it feels really good. We needed that. It's been tough for us at home for some reason, but I think we're changing that right now, and we're just going to roll with it.
What about the way the team battled back down by 4?
We've done that all year, and I think it's gone a little bit overlooked because it hasn't always resulted in a win.
Make sure you ask a question. Probably feels pretty good on a night like that.
Oh, it really does. But yeah, we've been battling all year and just haven't quite finished it, but I think like I said, that's about to change.
On the home run, you were seeing a steady diet of fastballs. I guess you got one to your liking, huh?
Yeah, just trying to be aggressive, left one up there, and down in that situation, just getting 2 there is big, and so I was just trying to get something up, at least drive in a run somehow, and luckily it carried out.
You got the huge home run on the 1-year anniversary of your major league debut. Does that add something to it?
Maybe. It's been a fun year. There's been a lot of cool events just like this one tonight, and hopefully there's more to come.
Thanks for the time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Stephen Piscotty.
What a moment. Aledmys Diaz and Stephen Piscotty, the heroes tonight. The Cardinals win it 6-5, and it's on to the postgame show.